Okay, this time I'd like to call him George.
Right.
Thank you.
Who just joined the meeting?
Linda Collins is watching. Laura Adams from Blackie is watching.
Good.
And I think Sam's there too. They're just listening.
Okay. All right.
They like to know what's going on.
Right. Sure. So when you do the more accessible annual report, are you
Yes.
going to do that? How will you distribute that?
Disperse it.
Disperse it. Yeah.
I usually do print versions and have them available at the setting out at the front desk. And then we also have we have email that I can attach it to an email for everybody that is subscribed to our online newsletter.
Okay. But you don't think the Mountain Eagle, or what do you think about that?
I think that might be asking for trouble.
Oh, why is you do? Okay.
I mean, maybe not asking for trouble, but most people just aren't interested in the statistical numbers here.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, once we see,
what are we required to by state?
We're required to do the annual report and make it available to anybody interested in it as part of the open records.
But it doesn't state that we have to
publish it.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, after we see it, maybe, as a way of getting more community involvement, we might want to, but I bow to your knowledge, and maybe that's not the best kind of information to get out to them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we have to have approval of all.
Right. Okay.
Make a motion to approve the office minutes.
And I second it.
Any questions? Saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now the treasury report.
You have copies there. I'll do it for you now. Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to go over. This is different from what we got in the mail. The packet.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking
this is the one that is it says Letcher County Public Library balance sheet and Letcher County Library State Fund balance sheet at the top.
Okay.
It's right there.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
We start with the one that does not say state fund, and these are most of the accounts listed up at the top.
Okay.
Okay, so in cash, which is the checking account, there's $644,710.43. In the business preferred, we're up here. Is that in the business preferred money market, there's $505,428.64. In the CD, there is $103,887.19. And in the petty cash, there's $1,632.48, which is actually not true. I've paid a couple of bills with that. And in the state fund, there is $80,485.45. Ian, what's our total?
Total is $1,336,144.19.
Okay. So I was curious, and I know you probably answered this when we went and signed all those cards at Community Trust. And so am I to understand that we only have a CD at Community Trust and the other accounts? We have checking at both banks? Why?
I don't know. So we
Tradition?
don't have all the money in one place. It was something that was set up.
Confusing?
No, because the different accounts are for different things.
Okay.
The petty cash at Whitaker Bank is the one that I have access to, and I pay a lot of little small things with that.
Okay.
The checking at Community Trust is the big general fund And then, the state fund, which is at Whitaker Bank,
Okay.
we used to have to keep that one separate because it was state
Mhm.
aid money that had to be used for specific things, and they
Right.
took those requirements off years ago. But when we started receiving donations for the flood
Mhm.
and any grants we receive, I put directly into that account because
Okay.
it's
And that's at
less,
Whitaker, is what you're saying?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's less activity and easier to keep an eye on.
One of the other things, the reason we have two banks, FDIC, if something goes bad,
Oh,
250,000, and it's what you're allowed.
right, okay, so
So
it
it's
would
better
prevent
to
us
do
from
that.
losing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
I remember that.
Okay, yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Anybody want to make a motion to approve the financial report?
Motion to approve the financial report.
Have a motion. Have a
No,
second.
I'll second it.
Have a second.
I'm the
All
seconder
those in
today.
favor, signify by saying
Aye.
Aye. Same sign, motion
Thank you. Okay, director's financial report. It's this one that's in front of you.
Mm. Okay.
Got it?
Mhm.
Okay. We had a few deposits. Department of Treasury motor vehicle deposit. That's the one that comes directly from the Treasury. Like if somebody pays their tags in a different county,
Oh,
they sent $2,491.82. And then the sheriff, we had property tax, which is oil, gas, limestone, CS and G, was $35,863.80. And then the clerk delinquent tax was $9,116.64. Clerk ad valorem was $7,102.44. We had a magazine refund. I'm not even sure. I think one of the magazines stopped being printed, so they sent us, and it was $27.54. And then we had a dividend from Kimmy, which is our workers' comp medical insurance, like if somebody gets hurt at work. And the dividend was $266.03. And I deposited $483 through copies and printouts and faxes. And then there was $16.84 taken in through Square for a total of $55,368.11. And then we made some purchases. So last month when we got King Kitchen for the meeting, it was $80. I mailed some of the packets. It was $6.21. We renewed our Zoom account so we could do the board meetings on Zoom for people to attend if they wanted to. That's $165.79. And I think, Grace, aren't you doing book club through Zoom also still?
how are you? Oh,
And then we had a Reader's Digest large print renewal for $31.80. And one of the ergonomic chairs that we got for 3 or 4 years ago broke, which made the second one. So we just decided to go ahead and order more chairs.
So we got 14.
We got 14 chairs, and I have a breakdown of who gets what in my notes. It's like 4 chairs for here, 3 for Blackie, 2 for Jenkins, and then 4 for Neon, and then there's an extra because somebody always realizes later they need another one. And if not, we'll put it down and let Tessa use it or Broy, depending on how that cage fight goes. Not really. And then I ordered calendars for next year from 4 Imprint. I actually ordered extras because I'm hoping we have 2 grand reopenings and we can give away calendars at those. And those were, it was like 497 calendars for $570.11.
Yeah. Mhm.
They sent us the wrong year, but they're in the process of fixing that.
Oh my gosh, they sent you 23?
Yes,
Oh my God.
and all I had to do was call
What a
them.
deal. What a deal that would have been, right?
All I had to do was call them and
Oh,
they were like,
good,
oh, we'll
yeah.
get this fixed.
Okay, good.
We subscribe to National Geographic Kids for $58.30, and that's actually 2 years. Is that right?
I think it was 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Roy bought some parade supplies. I did not see any pictures of Roy in the parade, but I'm sure they're out there. And-
Your Cat in the Hat outfit, you had to buy, what'd you have to buy?
Just something that could, electric car that drove around.
Oh, okay.
Cool
That was
needles.
cool.
Was there lights? I know there were cool needles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I want to see pictures.
Me too. You should
Yeah,
dress
post
up
them
and
on
drive
the
through
library.
Post them on the city.
Oh, they did, the city of
It's
Plattsburgh,
on
okay.
Facebook.
It is it? I haven't seen
Yeah.
them, I'll have to look, yeah.
Somebody should tag us in those.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say, if you can put them on the library
Yeah.
website, that'd be good, or Facebook page.
We need all of
Yeah,
Advertise.
all that
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Well, the parade committee came around during Whitesburg Day and caught me giving away books.
Oh, good, okay.
It was set out up well in front of the florist, and
Mhm.
that's when they came around is when I learned that we actually can reserve spot in front of the library for us to use.
Oh, yeah, you need to do
So-
that next year for
Yeah,
sure,
so
yeah.
I didn't have to get up at 6 o'clock.
You could
To
do
get
more
new. Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Things
where
from
was the-
inside to outside.
Where was the puppet show, and did anyone videotape that? I wanna see the
It
puppet
was
show. and I
in the
missed it.
big room downstairs.
Oh, it was inside.
Yes, and
So
I
did
don't
you
think
get
anybody
school,
that-
did you get school buses of kids coming?
This- the special needs.
Oh, special needs. Okay, all right. Okay, well, good. I was so sorry that I missed that. I didn't pay attention when I got the calendar, but
Then they had a program about Appalachian music and stuff, and there was
Mhm.
like 50-some kids that they busted in somewhere.
okay, I was just wondering where in the world the buses with all no parking, they must have let them out.
They let- Yeah,
Oh, of course, right. But gardeners, I wouldn't think would do that, but maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah, they usually do.
Oh, they do, really? Gosh, okay.
it's not
That's
that
good.
far. if you
No,
do the
it's
walking
not, but
track.
I know some kids don't
Yeah.
walk at all, and so, but that's good. Okay.
Okay, and then I had ordered a second bench from Rustic Rooster for
Mhm.
Blackie, and they brought it, so I wrote them a check and mailed it to them. And then the 6,500 is the deposit for the fire system on the elevator, and I'll give you an elevator update in a few moments. And then the $400 is to Miller IT, which is Tyrell Miller, who used to work for the library as our IT guy, has been doing some network stuff, network infrastructure for us here to update, because our when we changed to TVS cable with E-rate, some of the stuff stopped working well,
Mm,
and he's fixing that for us.
Oh, great.
And
right.
then
Good. Yeah. Where is it? His business name is Miller IT Services. Okay.
he's from here, but he lives in Pikeville.
Okay. Yeah,
And
'cause
then
there's always need for that kind of
the-
thing.
the Amazon, all the purchases from Amazon ended up being $2,150.35.
What was all that?
I'll go through that. in a second.
Yeah.
And-
Well, can I ask about the Amazon account?
Yes,
So, do you have the nonprofit organizational thing? Because you can get all kinds of tax rebates and stuff on that.
we have the tax exemption
business-
on the Amazon, and it's a business account.
It is a business account. Okay.
We haven't, and it was set up that way so we could use the line of credit, and they've stopped allowing line of credit, so we're just doing the debit card that comes out of the
Right,
state
right.
fund
Yeah,
account.
but that's what I just knew. And there used to be something called Smile Box. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where
Yeah.
people could, when they log into Amazon, they could give their reward points to a particular organization. Do you know if that's? Yeah, I know that, Smilebox. I don't know. Didn't have a chance to check and see if it's still an ongoing thing,
I'll have
but
to
yeah.
look into that.
So good. So I didn't know there was such a thing as a line of credit, but
There
I
used to be.
understand that there's some discounts. And also that you can, a nonprofit business account can put a wish list.
We have a wish.
Do you
list.
have a wish list? Okay, I'd like to see that because can you all use any hanging file folders, for instance? No.
Ian, do we need hanging file folders?
I've got a bunch.
See, that's the thing.
I
It's
don't
one of
use
those
them.
commodities. I wish I knew a
They-
way to repurpose them, but
Yeah.
I'm emptying my office at home and I've got multicolored. I've got turquoise, pink, orange, yellow, green, just like new, and nobody uses paper anymore. So,
I use paper. I use a lot of paper, but I tend to go for the accordion files because
oh yeah.
when we're audited, it all goes into a banker's box and that goes in the bookkeeping. box
Okay,
after
all
they're
right.
done.
Well, anyway, okay. So, but you do
But
have
if-
a wish list on there. I'll
We
have to
do,
look at that.
And
Yeah.
if I
So
hear of
what-
anybody needing hanging folders.
Yeah, let me know. So how do we
Anybody?
find your account to find the wish list?
I think it's just under Harry M. Cottle Memorial Library.
Okay, good.
Um,
That's easy. I'm
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but I
No,
just
you're
wanted to
fine. Ask all
Yeah.
the questions you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to a total of $13,515.06 total, and we'll go to Amazon. And I print out all the Amazon.
Mhm.
I print out all of the invoices.
Oh, it's on the next page.
Yes. All the
Okay.
invoices that we pay for with the debit card, and I also print out all the Amazon invoices. So
Mhm.
if there's anything you want to see specifically, I've got a packet of it. So Amazon, I'm not going to go down for each purchase
Mhm.
individually, but I'll do total by category. So books, we spent $827.74. We spent $831.46 on computer hardware. That was a Wi-Fi
Extender.
net.
Oh, wow.
We portals access points in different
Access
parts
points.
of the building, and it blankets the building with Wi-Fi.
That's great. Okay, so it's not an extender. It's called a net.
Yeah,
Is that right?
some mesh system.
Mesh system. Right. Okay, I know what you're
And
talking about.
we
now.
also got a new switch, which is internet goes into it and it separates the internet and goes to different parts of the building by wires and
Okay.
keystones. So if you see any of the blue or yellow internet cable wires, they're all connected into the switch, which is not a gaming system.
What is it?
It's-
That's all I knew.
It's just a panel that is part of our tower,
Okay.
and
What's the advantage of using that?
We have to.
Imagine like a surge protector. Okay, you have
Oh,
multiple plugs.
Okay.
it's just
You have
multiple.
one plug go in and other plugs come out of it, so you can run the internet and all the
Gotcha. Okay, but a customer coming in here would not hook into.
Oh,
it.
no.
No.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
They,
Okay.
they can, however, use one of the network cables that are available out there.
Okay.
So like our desktops out here
Mhm.
are hardwired in, so they don't have to rely on the Wi-Fi.
Exactly, right. That's what I was thinking. So some customers could
Yeah.
Yeah.
log in, yeah,
If they need.
because okay.
We spent $357.65 on programming supplies.
Can you give an example of what that is?
Let me see. Programming was.
Is that like for
Three.
painting maybe, or?
Some of it
for
is
the painting
actually,
class?
the one that is $209.97. That was 3 cases of canvases for the painting class,
Oh, okay.
which is like 6 classes maybe. We go through quite a few canvases.
And you all don't charge for those classes right now?
No.
Okay. So that's a good deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the people love it so much that we
Mhm.
had to add a 3rd class here.
Wow.
Because we had enough people on the waiting list and
To make another class, yeah. Mhm. Cool.
so that's this Friday and then next Thursday, Tuesday. Yeah. We spent $145.69 on DVDs and $47.80 on processing. We got new little shelf tags. I don't think you can see them from here, but in the children's section, they're just these little metal holders that go on the shelves that say what
Mhm.
letter you're in.
Yeah,
Identifies.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was the processing. And then the $59.99 credit for return was we weren't sure what size costume we would need, so we ordered the two most likely
Mhm.
and returned the one. So that's where the $2,150.35 comes from.
Okay.
We have a motion.
I move to accept the director's financial report.
Second.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And I have your autograph on these 3 pages, if I can get them separated.
Wait a second.
Oh,
Yes,
Jeanette did.
Jeanette did, yes.
thank you. I will send around the vouchers. Making sure they're all here. Me. Here. Here we go. Thank you. And if you had
Oh, so
any
we're just
questions,
looking at them. There's
Um,
one copy, is that what,
there's,
one copy of each?
yes, because
So-
this is what goes to the bookkeeper's office. You
Okay.
get the cover sheet of each packet in your packet that I sent.
That you sent mailed out?
Yes,
Okay, okay,
or handed you when you came in.
right, okay.
So, that actually has all the invoices.
And I need
for-
to initial?
Yes, please.
Okay. Mhm.
But if you have any questions, please feel free. Lena used to mark her questions on the inside of her packet,
Mhm.
like next to the invoice that she wasn't sure about.
Mhm. Well, so who's Baker and Taylor?
Baker and Taylor is a book publishing company. Which one is that?
This is Jenkins.
Okay. Peggy orders kind of all over the board to fill in
Okay,
her
Baker
library.
and Taylor is really popular, like,
really? Okay.
Yeah.
And Blackie too, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Those ones that process them for you too.
I know. I used to have them when they, but they raised the price, so I couldn't.
so instead of ordering through Amazon, you all are ordering through this publisher, is that right? Is that how?
Yeah,
have
I've had Baker and Taylor for years.
Okay, well, that's good, yeah.
And they give good discount.
And they
They
do,
do.
uh-huh, okay.
And when it's stuff that Baker and Taylor can't get for them, we go ahead and order it. I
Okay,
mean, it is the library's Amazon account. It's just, we're the only.
and
ones
so
that do that.
whereas you all order from Ingram and Harlequin,
That's Roy.
Roy, okay.
Yeah,
So what does Ingram publish?
it's not really public, it's more like a clearinghouse.
Oh, is that what they are? Okay.
It's along the same lines as Amazon, except
Okay.
they are just books. And is Ingram DVDs also?
Oh, I don't know.
Is
think so.
Amazon cheaper? I mean, I'm not pushing to
Sometimes.
say that because I mean, and what would be great, we don't have very many local book
Yeah.
sellers, but we do have Red Spotted Newt in Hazard. I don't know what that would be like, if that would be way more expensive.
Mandy's not way more expensive, but it is like we would have travel time and she
Right,
is,
sure.
if I,
It's a small
yeah.
small
she's-
operation. Right. I was just curious. And Coast to Coast Solutions? What's
That
that?
is where I've already ordered some calendars because I ordered. Got people wanting to
You've
know.
got the
Oh.
wall calendars, right?
Okay, all right, okay.
They do good pencils and I was getting,
I keep pencils.
yeah, we
Right,
do too.
Every time I go to school, I.
exactly. Well, that's good, yeah.
senior high school this year, and she says it's been some.
Oh, well, great. Great. What's micro marketing?
Micro marketing is a company that does a lot of books and DVDs and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, another clearinghouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like them because they get the custom lists and stuff too. Like they'll tell you what's popular, what's going out right now.
Okay, what the trends are and
Yeah,
stuff
what
like
the
that.
trends are. They keep a record of everything.
Okay, well, that's good.
And the DVDs, if you
Yeah.
just wanted to replace it for half price.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good.
And they do that with audiobooks on CD too, right?
I think so. But yeah, I think we get like 20% off too. You know?
Okay,
It tends to work out in the end.
right,
We
sure.
have Amazon Prime, so we don't pay for shipping. When
Mhm.
we order from Ingram, there's a discount, but we have to pay for shipping.
Right, okay,
And
so
shipping is.
it
kind of
may not be
outrageous.
a
Yeah.
huge difference.
They actually figured it out one day, Ian and Scarlett.
Yeah, Ingram was slightly higher.
Okay,
But depending on what it is, sometimes it's worth it.
right, sure.
Because, you get those tailored lists like that.
Right,
Just,
there's some
yeah,
benefits that go
There's
along
there's
with that,
benefits that go along with it, so.
yeah. Mhm.
And sometimes you can find it at one, but you can't find it.
Yeah.
at
Right,
Like, for example, with micro marketing DVDs, they just told me the other day that they can put like how we put a label on the center of the disc that shows that it's our disc.
right.
They can do that before they even send it.
Wow,
So
oh, that
it
is,
makes it already free.
oh, that's labor saving and,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, stuff like that. It doesn't cost anything extra.
Mhm.
So,
yeah. And never mind that when I've tried to do that, I always get them off center a little bit or whatever, and so
We've gotten a back.
Stress
sometimes and
relieving
The
too.
sticker is gone, and we later find out that
it just came off. Oh, yeah.
or has gummed up somebody's DVD player.
Oh, right, right. That happens.
Excuse
too.
me.
Speaking of which, I also have a lifetime supply of DVD labels. If anyone wants them, I just need to set up way too many, and blank DVDs. But you probably don't have any use for them. Okay. You take them all up to Jim Webb's. That's how he marked all his trails, was hanging DVDs up. So
Didn't know.
yeah, pretty. But I mean, you'd have to build some more trails to use.
Okay, on this Blackie survey, elevation survey, is that for that ramp?
No, the elevation survey was so we would know how much we were in excuse me.
Oh, for the flood?
Mhm.
Oh,
How much we were in the floodplain?
Oh, and they don't just do that? Kentucky Disaster doesn't just do that?
No,
You
we
have
had to
pay 'em for
hire,
it.
we had to hire surveyors.
Wow.
Luckily, Kevin knew a guy.
Mhm. Well, that's good. Yeah.
Thank you. Is that all of them?
I think that is.
We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
I
didn't even
second.
have to say that.
All in favor?
Moving along.
Aye, yes.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Thank
All
you.
right. Head librarians report. 50 words or less.
Now, we got a report written from you all. That's what yeah.
Yeah.
Any additions?
So is there anything addition to that? Of course, I had a question. Just a minute. I want to know, and excuse my ignorance, you all may know this, but I don't know what Hoopla and Libby Overdrive is. Oh,
Oh,
she says, let
I
me
am-
tell you.
Failing.
Oh, okay. So you don't, I mean, if it's extensive, do you all know what it is?
Yeah.
You all, do you, Cheryl?
Not specifically. I
Do you,
need to
Jeanette? You
be-
know what it is?
involved.
Okay,
I went to the schools to tell them. I went to the high school.
right. That's
specifically,
what I was, yeah.
to talk to my friend's class about Hoopla and Libby and get them library cards. So let me use my other phone.
It's an app. I'm
It's-
assuming.
It's two different apps. One of them used to be Overdrive and is now Libby. And the other
Oh,
one,
okay,
Hoopla, is one that we subscribed to a little over a year ago, I guess.
okay.
Go to our website. Both of them are, yeah, go to our website.
I could go to your
It's,
website.
www.lcld.org.
Okay.
And it's on the right-hand side. It's
Now,
online
just a minute,
resources,
tell me again the address. I'm sorry.
lcld.org.
lcld.org. Okay,
It's-
not Facebook, but this is it.
Yes,
Okay. All right,
it's-
I'm here.
Okay, on the
Okay.
right-hand side, it says online resources, and the first one is search the catalog.
Yeah, but I see Hoopla on down.
Yes.
Okay.
Hoopla is downloadable and streamable and audio books, movies, TV shows,
Yeah, I did
music.
not know that.
Libby is downloadable and streamable and audio books. And I
Oh,
think that's
okay.
it right now.
Okay.
And if, yeah,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Does it have, would it have, Barbara Kingsolver's Demon Copperhead?
Hoopla does.
Hoopla
I
does,
have-
so that would be a way that I could get it streaming in the jail. Maybe.
As long
That's
as
what, anyway,
everybody,
okay.
as long as everybody had a library card. Because
Oh.
it's required.
Oh,
to-
okay, okay.
Which we can do. I would just
Yeah.
have to go and get information like I did with the high school.
Right, well,
and-
anyway, we can follow up on that because the
Yes.
booking, because I want them to get, is it audio?
It is.
Okay, perfect. Okay, because I really
And-
want to do that,
Actually,
to have them
if,
discuss, and discuss
if
it. so
Bert
then-
wants, I can go in and show them how to use Hoopla. If they have access to phone, do they get to
They
keep their
get,
phones?
no, don't get to keep their phones. They have a
Tablet?
tablet. They have tablets, but it's usually one per cell. And I
Okay,
think it's limited, but he was saying depending on who their phone service is through, they're in the process of changing that they could probably, but there would be no charge, right?
right. There's no
So he was
charge.
saying one person could buy it and everyone could access it, but this would simplify that very
Yes.
easily. Okay.
There's a limit to how many devices you can download to.
Okay.
But
Well, anyway, I don't want to take time up for this, but that's exciting to
will-
me. I didn't know about that.
I-
Yeah. Yeah.
I
so
geek
that's
out
good.
about
That's a good
Hoopla and
resource.
Libby.
Yeah.
mostly
Okay.
Hoopla.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Lots of groups.
Yeah,
You know,
lots of
lots
groups
So-
would be interested
you-
in that. And
Do you want me to just go with my report?
yeah, I mean, unless or we could just see, for the sake of time, we could just
We can
see
skip
if
me,
anyone
'cause
has any questions.
Yeah,
You told us about the FEMA meeting. Have you had another one since then?
I have one on Thursdays.
Every Thursday, okay.
And
Okay, was it
talk about-
informative?
yes, I would suggest that the board can be on. It's on Thursday at 2:30.
Hmm.
And it's on Zoom?
No, we do it over the phone.
Oh, it's a phone call. So you
She
just,
set it up in here.
a speakerphone.
Yeah, I call them with my cell phone and set it on
Okay.
speakerphone, and
So it's not everybody. I thought it was everyone who needed to have a conversation with FEMA, but it's just you.
it's just me. Sometimes Craig from Kentucky Emergency Management is on the line with us.
Who was the gentleman that talked about the blanket?
Jay is from their mitigation department at FEMA.
Okay.
He was actually giving me suggestions for things like passive flood barriers for neon. I'm like, that's not gonna work. Because neon is, I mean, passive flood barrier blocks the door. And we would need
Oh.
it for the whole front of the building.
Oh, right, okay,
And he was like, you're right, after he looked at pictures.
okay, yeah.
But they actually have pictures
Oh,
from
they
me
already have
that
them?
I've sent.
Mhm.
As soon as I started talking with FEMA, I sent Karen, who I was speaking with, I sent her everything that I had.
Mhm.
And then I've now switched to Tanji, who was Karen's supervisor, but they're like trying to streamline the thing.
Mhm.
And
That's how you pronounce TONGA is Tonga.
yeah.
That's like the way
I-
we turn every A. Flora is Flory and Geneva is Geneve. So that's interesting. Is she
Yeah.
from this area?
No,
No. Okay, I didn't. think so.
I did get her to, after Karen introduced us over the phone, I did ask her the next phone call how to pronounce her name, so I would
Oh,
know.
okay, so good. Okay.
And your problem is there's a changeover after so much time.
Yeah,
You get a
right.
new person and a new person.
And
I
you
had
have to
Karen for
start all
almost a
over.
year.
Yeah.
But it's going well. I'm in the middle of the paperwork to actually get the first funding to us.
Hmm.
And I've been working on that. I visited the schools. I did Whitesburg Day. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
So the ADA specialist is supposed to be on the phone with you this week?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I was like, I just leave that up to the architecture firm and Charlie because I
Mhm.
mean, Charlie is the architecture firm and
Right.
Craig because they know what the specs are. Are you guys required to know?
The ADA,
Mhm.
I guess part of the code.
I figured,
Architecture
yeah.
Building code requires involves ADA.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd like to say this week I visited Neon just to see some of the things that are going on. One of the most impressive things was Miss Hawkins' place.
Mhm.
They have a very nice place to go in, sit and have a cup of coffee,
Mhm.
and very pleasant surroundings, quilts on the wall. big
Old photographs
pictures.
on the wall. Yeah, my.
Are you
cousin's
open to
still
the public now?
Yeah, we have been. It's
Yeah.
just,
Okay.
you know, I run in and out, so.
Mhm.
Okay,
You don't
well,
have
the-
staff
Yeah.
to be there all the
But
time,
it's
right?
very
Yeah.
nice.
So,
Yeah.
any-
I've been in there a few times.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
weren't
yeah.
open to the public yet.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Mhm.
Jeff is really nice.
Then you have
Mhm.
the city hall is new and the churches are new. The forest is beautiful. And then you come to
The
Neon Library
Yeah.
and it's sad, it's pitiful, makes me want to cry when I go and see it's been a year and 2 months. And it looks the same as it did the day of the flood. Is there not something that we can do to get that library open again?
Kevin's here to talk to us. He's on the
You had a
agenda.
plan, you
It
got a
was gonna be Charlie, but Charlie had to be out of town.
Is there going to be more positive than just talking? I mean, I'm really frustrated and so are the people in Neon and Heyman and people who,
Well, fortunately, it's the tar baby of FEMA. It's
Yeah.
it's the double-edged sword, you know, they help you out, but then they really give you a whole, they have to review everything. Then they have to have their 2 cents in there. They'll do something just. It's like usually you assume we want to change something. Apparently they did, so. I'm acting, want to go ahead and give the report I have now.
Do you wanna
No.
jump to Kevin or?
We can.
I'd
Well,
like
well-
to hear because really it is getting to the
Oh, yeah.
point that
Okay.
Mhm.
somebody's gonna be mad.
Somebody remodeling like the brown paper.
It'd be better to see somebody actually working.
yeah, I'm-
it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think people would see that as just a,
Block and saw.
Yeah.
just a
I-
very, an effort to make it look like something when there wasn't, yeah.
Charlie said you guys were like at the, almost ready to have plans approved part.
Charlie, I talked to him yesterday or Friday. He said, Fleming Neon's basically done. He said they worked out the details with FEMA and they're gonna do the waterproofing on the brick and probably use the door and window dams. That's just a standard thing FEMA does.
And the hurricane windows.
Yeah, so this is basically, FEMA takes our drawings.
So,
Then they hold them for 6 months, then they look at them for a day, then they make some suggestions, and they work back and forth with us, and we put their suggestions into our bid documents. That's usually the way it works.
So they have your drawings yet?
I think they've looked at them and made suggestions, and we're trying to work out the details. According to Charlie, the Fleming Neon's pretty much ready to go.
But right now, it's ready to go.
He said he's basically
Okay.
done.
Well, that's great news, so,
Yeah,
we're just waiting for FEMA to say, go ahead.
I think so.
Okay.
There's always.
But you think- but you didn't hear that at the meeting you attended.
I didn't, but,
Well,
um,
maybe he's meaning on our end, we've done everything we can do, and we've given to them.
Because if it's 6 months, I don't know when that.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's just a. All I'm saying, they're slow.
I know that they changed the flood
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
And so I don't know if we start with 6 months from that date, where that is a change. Or, but I do know that they had we did a lot of planning at one point.
yeah.
So I don't know if it was from that point. counting
Yeah,
the
if it's 6 months from now and then they look at it, that's
No, no,
really
I was just
frustrating.
exaggerating.
Yes, I know.
But,
What happens at the
if we're gonna go, the one on black is a little more difficult. He was saying they came up with an idea,
Mhm.
basically take off 4 feet of the exterior siding, the waterproof membrane.
The shiplap.
Right,
And
right.
either shiplap backup or some sort of, concrete board. And I was talking to Charlie, I've used the concrete board before. If you look at the rec center over here,
Mhm.
Letcher County Rec Center, that concrete, it looks like concrete, it's a tan band, it goes around the top. That's nothing more but concrete board. It's Hardy makes basically it's a piece of concrete that thick, and it's 4x8 sheets.
Waterproof.
It's what you do, you treat one side of it, basically is waterproofing. They love Thompson's water seal. I had a whole women's facility that made us Thompson's water seal the brick to keep the flood out, which that will not keep the flood out. What makes me happy. But basically, this is either we have to put back the lap siding back on, and it's hard to put lap siding back on and everything, penetrates. And so you have something that's the bigger the surfaces you can control.
Mhm.
And then,
Could you use liquid nails?
yeah,
I actually asked
Yeah.
Charlie about the possibility of putting the membrane in and then doing something like spray concrete and field stone.
Mhm.
Something that would be fast and waterproof and would still have the same personality as the
Yeah.
shiplap.
but we're gonna be
Right.
careful because it's like 50% threshold, which I don't think we're close to. FEMA says if your repair is more than 50% of the building, that basically is worth condemning.
Mm.
But the square footage over there, if you built that building now, it'd be probably $300 a square foot, so these renovations shouldn't come near 50%. But you
Right.
still have to play by the rules, and we're waiting from an estimate from Lewis Brothers Contracting on this rack. It's a new idea. As soon as we get that in writing, I think we submit that to FEMA, we carry on.
I've had several people want to know why hurricane windows when we've never had a hurricane.
Well, it's basically waterproof. Tough windows is what they.
It's because it was the tree stump that did all the damage. If the tree stump hadn't come in through the back door, the windows in the front wouldn't have
But the
broken
tree
out.
stump didn't come as a part of a hurricane. That's what. they
Well,
It's
say to
just
me.
the pressure rating.
Yeah, it's just. rating
Okay.
system.
I just want to have something to go back with.
Yeah, you can send people to me too.
There were
Plenty.
4 schools in the county that were damaged extensively. The central office for the school board was damaged pretty badly. All of those have already been done and finished. Those were huge projects, whether it was a library or
Ended up directly with FEMA or not.
They
I'm sure they.
They're in the same system I'm in. And they actually have the same East Kentucky Emergency Management rep. So I think we kind of got backburnered.
Well, I think they do power to schools is overlap. They do critical infrastructure first, fire stations, hospitals, police stations first, and schools probably up the tier. We've had our drawings basically done for several months.
Yeah.
And we've been working with FEMA. We're doing everything we can to get through FEMA. It sounds like we're in the last stages of building with FEMA. According to Charlie, as soon as we're done, we can move away. As far as I know, just go.
Okay.
Put out the bids,
Put out the bids.
put out the invitations and
Mhm.
get the ball.
I'm not for sure the status of the building code, if it's building code yet. I think you have to have the FEMA stuff before you send the building code. building. Now, the good thing is you can advertise for bids while building codes reviewing it. We do that all the time for rush projects. In this
Mhm.
situation, I would say, well, there's nothing
Right.
really change,
Mhm.
but, I'll get with Charlie on that. Charlie's gonna do like a little timeline of things that happen when they happen.
That's what we needed. time.
That's
Yeah.
a great idea. So he can get that. Can you, yeah.
Well, that will be available next board meeting.
I'll ask him to have you, it's the time.
And one
Okay.
other question. So you said, excuse me, you said neon is basic.
The plans.
What is, I guess, what's basic? Are the plans
drawings.
complete? Are they at?
Plans
FEMA?
are basically, that's how our side of having the plans are pretty much done. It's just,
Well, the drawings are done, the physical, actual
I
construction.
have plans. I have copies of the plans. Do you guys want me to bring them in?
if you look at the plans. can
If
see
you have the
there's
plans and
nothing-
everything,
You'd
where's the people to start putting them together?
We have to wait on
We
FEMA.
And you have to bid. You have to
Yeah.
Put it out to bid. But have you, I mean,
How
would
long
you,
usually
would that
take?
help if the plans were somehow made public? Do you think that would help people?
No.
They wanna
They
see
don't
some work.
going
Yeah,
on
if
up
they
there.
see work.
Yeah,
going on.
that's-
Yeah, I
they don't
understand.
think
They're not,
it's coming, you know.
yeah,
so-
they're getting
so-
skeptical.
It's-
I keep
Yeah.
telling
Okay.
people,
Up the
Well,
road,
so-
some
When they
of the
ask
places
me,
work too.
But
Yeah.
action,
So
you know.
with your FEMA
understand.
person, are they saying, I mean, I know it's pretty much one project at a time. Is
Mhm.
how you do one, then after that's done, then you can do another one.
they know that we can't move forward with giving them the paperwork that they need until the actual work starts. So we're in a standstill because of them, and they know it.
Oh, the building can't start till FEMA.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Right.
mean. So you're doing one project at a time.
Mhm.
I mean, that's how that goes. That's why it's takes so
Yeah.
long. But,
You cannot proceed unless FEMA gives you a piece of paper saying to proceed. Or, well, then you can proceed, choose on FEMA funding.
Right.
So
But-
that's the.
Are you asking
Well, that's
Cheryl
nothing to FEMA
whether
person.
the plans for Blackie have to wait for the plans from Neon?
no,
You're just saying,
so I'm just asking Ally, so you're going through the different projects when you're going through this process with
Yeah, they
Lena.
did,
Yeah,
put me on first and the black was later.
We touch on all of the projects while I'm on the phone.
okay, good.
Is
So it's
she,
about-
is she saying anything to you about how far down the line you are with this? They
No.
don't mention that?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
But I can ask if
Won't you
you,
sit in on me?
yeah.
yeah,
Can you do that? Cause you've
You
been
guys are
sitting in
welcome.
on the meeting. Yeah,
okay.
that's a
And
great
if
idea.
needed, I can actually
That's the best
come
way.
there.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, really.
Mhm,
yeah.
that's a good idea.
So then we can share that with you, Jeanette, you
Mhm.
know, so that you.
Or Jeanette could
and
come
we
too.
can
You
spread
could
the
have a
word.
party if you wanted.
I could come to Neon Lights and you can sit in on the phone call that I have with
That would
Tanji.
be fine with me.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So next Thursday,
Mhm.
at what day is that? Should know that.
Thursday.
Oh,
is-
this Thursday. What am I
Yes.
saying? This Thursday, right? Do
Thursday
you
is
have
the
something going on?
28th.
I do.
You have
I-
something
I'm
the
gonna have to
28th?
go.
Okay,
We
well,
have FEMA things
Let
going.
Jeanette sit in on.
Yeah.
if you
Can you
wanted
do
to
that,
come
Jeanette?
What time? Thursday?
The
Thursday
28th.
at 2:30.
At 2:30.
Where?
It's very time consuming, all these meetings
Yeah.
with FEMA.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
We could, do you want to come here, or I could come to the Jenkins Library and do it?
Jenkins would be fine.
Okay. But I'll put you in my phone.
Okay.
Okay.
I think this is great.
Does
Mhm.
anybody else have more questions for Kevin?
Well, and I appreciate you doing all this work with FEMA and you, Kevin,
Mhm.
answering our questions and giving us an update on what's going on.
I can't.
And we're very excited to have the library.
I
I
understand.
can't share you.
I can't.
We wanted it yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah, right. I'm sure you hear that a lot, right?
I can't speak for people. I'm not sure.
Oh, I understand.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
But
ask them.
you'll have FEMA on the phone, so you can
Yes.
let FEMA speak for
I've dealt
FEMA
with
and,
FEMA.
yeah, right, yeah. Right.
Property.
you've already dealing with them. Well, I have to say in contrast, I'm glad that that's going on, but we are not nearly that far along with the church that I attend here on Main Street.
Right.
The basement was, we're having trouble even getting someone to come in and do an assessment.
Church is long lower than the library.
I think so. And it was just the basement. So it was not, it wasn't the.
A lot of the
upstairs.
churches in Neon just went ahead and fixed themselves,
Right,
which.
right. Well, this isn't preventing any major activities right now, but.
Now, one thing helps with FEMA and dealing with FEMA is exactly how your building's built,
Right.
and what really saved you guys are you had concrete slabs and foundations.
Mm-hmm.
Like the schools, one reason the schools go faster, all schools are built out basically CMU and concrete. So
Mm-hmm.
they basically go there and, wash it out and paint it and go on.
Right.
And they're structurally not really affected by the water. But, where you have a frame system, a wood frame system, and the FEMA's biggest concern is another flood, the whole thing just falls over.
Right.
And they think everybody's gonna be in there, you're having a book club while the water's rising. That's beyond, because they want you to block exits, which is, what you have to do is you have to shut down the facility, and then you go through the water treatment process, so that's another part of it. Whereas schools, yeah, I would think,
Well, I don't know. I guess they have to be prepared for any. Well, not to belabor this, but over there, what we had, it's very old. That building was built in the 1920s. So and so there was asbestos tiles that had been covered up. And when the water came in, it lifted all that. So that was a huge thing. And now the plaster walls are kind of coming off. So it's going to be a whole nother,
now one thing you guys did, you jumped on it, and you had it cleaned out as soon as possible. That way stuff would rot and.
Right, right.
plaster and
Yeah.
all over, so give you guys the head of that. But
Right.
A lot of people would just, well, let's just wait and see. And,
Oh, no, we did that down there too. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Well, let's see, going over this is, Roy's is the next report, isn't it? Oh, I'm
Kevin,
sorry, did you want to?
If you are welcome to stay, but if you need to go,
Yeah.
I don't mind at all.
Stick out of here, I'm gonna. Rebuild the jobs that are on fire, not literally. And I'll get a hold of Charlie.
Thank you, yes.
Have a email hopefully tomorrow afternoon. I'll email him and he'll. Get back with you guys as soon as possible with this time, I think.
Thank you.
That's good.
Hey, thank you guys.
I'm glad you were able to make it.
No problem, no problem.
Roy, what's KYAC stand for? I know, what does it stand for? Okay.
KYAC, Kentucky Young Adult and Children.
Oh, okay,
programmers.
right,
People
exactly,
that do
okay.
programming and outreach.
So, and they talked, I understand that at the meeting you talked about teams and attracting them. Any ideas that you can think of to bring here?
A lot of it was stuff that we've already done.
Oh, really?
Some of the ideas which Tessa is gonna do, I think tomorrow, is the zombie Barbies, which I thought was a clever idea, take Barbies and make them into zombies.
If anybody has any unwanted Barbies at home,
Would come and do that? You'd have stuff, yeah.
That's awesome. Starting.
I had a idea over the weekend, and this is just an idea. Tessa provides these programs, but the school kids are not. Why couldn't she go to the school kindergarten? I stopped this morning seeing the superintendent.
she does school visits.
And she was really, she said that,
Excited about that?
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think so she does school visits, but I'm wondering if you wouldn't have more participation in the story out. Well, we know you would, because if she went to a kindergarten classroom, she could do.
I do.
You do, okay,
Just this past week.
Okay.
Got molasses and tasted molasses.
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be, and then make them aware of all the resources of the library.
And they take home Saturday?
Yeah, because how many do you have here for story hour?
Story hour is birth through 5.
Yeah, but
So,
how many do you have?
We usually have anywhere from like 10 to 20.
Really?
Yeah.
It varies.
Okay, because, yeah.
Well, now she had to cancel 2 last month.
Mhm.
Were they made up?
They just get pushed back. They don't get
Okay.
made up. Because when she's like, if it's a special program, then it's rescheduled. But story time is weekly, so there's not really a time when she can make them up
You know,
and have.
Now that I thought about it, I never did see a job description for Tessa. Does she have one?
There is one.
Is it in
It's-
the policy manual?
It's
I
not
didn't
in the
see
policy manual.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been adapted much since her title changed to programming librarian. I think
So is that something
I'll
the
have to
board
dig it out.
should take on, or for you to write up a job description and then put it in there? Because I got a copy of the policy manual
Mhm.
from Howard, and I copied it. And
I
I
didn't give you a
meant,
copy.
no,
I'm sorry.
and you don't have one either, do you? I was gonna make, well, I won't, this is being recorded, but anyway, I went to my former employer as I was cleaning out my office, and I was able to make myself a copy without much trouble. But, yeah, and so I was looking through there, and I thought that I was interested that they talk about training too for trustees, and I wonder if there wasn't some stuff, even Zoom. Some of them were on Zoom, but also that we could have someone come talk about what some of the other library boards do and process and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Because we're supposed to be trained according to that policy manual, right?
The Kentucky Department for Libraries and Archives does not require trustee training. It is suggested.
Oh, okay. I thought.
And they're the ones that do the trustee training and certification.
Okay.
And I can
Well,
get.
people always tell me I'm certifiable, so I'd like to be certified.
They're not the same.
Right.
I'll talk to Charlie.
Yeah.
Since I'm
About-
president, I better be.
Right.
I'll find out from Charlie Taylor at Kentucky Department for Libraries and Archives when the
Okay.
next trustee training is.
Okay,
And they
because
do
that'd
it.
be, and I'm sure they do it by Zoom, and that would be a good thing. So, yeah. So, yeah, Barbie zombies. I can't.
I love it.
No, it's just I couldn't get into Barbies in the first place, but Barbie zombies, I know I couldn't get into. So it's good I'm not running a program like
She started another program here yesterday that if a kid or a teenager checks out 5 books at one time, they have to check out 5 at one time, but they get a pack of Pokemon cards that are the like Halloween themed packs. That are, it's only like 3 cards. That are limited
well, that's
edition.
good. Yeah.
Collector
That's
box. So
That's a draw.
yeah. Who was it that was? Oh, yeah. I mean, I completely forgot about Pokemon when my grandson, since my grandson was living with me and he was into it, but I was at Vico to get my hair cut the other day, and Eddie was sitting there playing Pokemon. I couldn't believe it. So it's still very popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
McDonald's is giving out cards too. I know
Oh,
that
they
much.
are. Gosh, it just
Kids meals.
right, exactly. Yeah.
I'll find out about the trustee training.
Okay, that would be great. Okay.
Do you guys have any more questions for head librarians
Yeah, I'm just looking over to see if
or
What about
me?
that elevator?
That's under building projects. Since while you guys are looking, I'll go ahead.
okay.
Everybody has been here to do their part except I talked to Brian Lewis. Can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday. They all kind of melt together now. They run together, and he was talking with the building. It's the guy that does Hang on just a second, I've got it in here.
So do we have fire alarms in all of the libraries now? Okay,
Building inspector, he has to get a separate permit to put the ceiling in the elevator shaft. And when they were supposed to meet was when Mountain Heritage was happening, and I could have told them that they wouldn't find a place to park.
oh, right.
So Brian's gonna take him the pictures that he has and meet him in Knott County next week. I'm hoping that that's not Gingerbread Festival because
No,
if
it's
they're
already passed.
invited,
Yeah.
good. 'Cause
Hazard already
Hazard
passed
already
too.
passed.
Yeah.
Cause
We're over, I think, in the region. Thank God. Well, I shouldn't say that. I love those festivals.
I mean, it's good for it's good, but it's also exhausting,
Right, it is.
especially when a walk that normally takes 3 minutes takes 15. So Brian's gonna get the building permit as soon as possible, and they'll put in the ceiling inside the elevator shaft. And then as soon as the ceiling is in, I call Jeff Redmond at TK Elevator, and they come back and do their final checks, and then they call Rodney, the elevator inspector, and he comes and does his inspection. And he actually, Rodney, like, was in the area and came and looked and said that everything's looking good.
Good.
So yay.
So that's for here.
That's for here.
Blackie.
Blackie and Neon are in the same boat.
Okay.
We're almost done with. Charlie has told me that they are almost done with the plans for Blackie. I keep calling him with the stuff that the mitigation guy tells me about. And then I also call him with suggestions. Like the putting the membrane in and then spray concrete and field stone, which was really popular a few years ago. And that would waterproof it up to the flood line, and it wouldn't be horribly expensive. But they're taking everything into consideration. And when I'm on the phone call with Tanji and Jay, I've actually told him what we are planning to do. And he said, that all sounds good. And now we're just waiting.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
They are not as close with the Blackie plans as they are with the Fleming Neon plans, because it is a wood structure and they're harder to waterproof. Which is why I keep calling him with ideas. Like, if you can waterproof a swimming pool, surely you can waterproof a building.
Yeah, that makes sense,
So
yeah.
there's that, and that's pretty much it for the building projects right now. Did I miss anything? No. I do need to find somebody that will clean the ceiling of the meeting room at Jenkins, because it's got some mildew issues happening. And actually, if you want to call Verlin and see if he'll come take a look and do an estimate for cleaning. Okay. Because the East Kentucky's Best Cleaning Service didn't want to touch it because the ceiling is wood. I'm like, but it's clear coated wood. They still don't want to touch it.
So who's Verlin?
Verlin Short is a
I know.
handyman type guy.
He's the snake man. I know who Verlin Short is.
I ignored that part and just go with the
Okay,
handyman part.
he does that kind of stuff.
He does.
He has a truck now that he's hauling garbage and stuff away, so I don't know how available he is.
He keeps telling me that he's.
He
available
says
to
he is.
do,
Okay.
Like, spray cleaning, like sidewalks and stuff. I'm like,
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
So that's that. Yeah.
That fella that did
The carpet,
the gutter, the gutter.
he does cleaning also?
I think he does a variety of things.
Okay. Yeah, give him a call, so.
I'll check with him.
I'm not opposed to spreading the love around.
Right.
Equipment's just
Quicker that way.
Right. Whoever's available.
And I think, as far as airflow in that room, just need to open the door more often. Prop it open.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
we figure anything out about how to clean the windows at Blackie?
Get the building repainted, that's the only time they get anything outside.
Yeah.
Right, well, someone.
Because there's,
It's the riverbank,
Right,
and so they, you know.
where would they set up? I know the, yeah,
They told me this, that you swivel out and you could have somebody clean from inside.
You ever see that?
but you don't have that.
yeah.
You know, I've seen those. I've never known anyone who got them that use the magnets. You know, one of those long handled things. Well, no, if you have yeah, I don't know. I mean, you have a cleaner thing on the inside with the magnet, and then you've got a long handled thing on the outside, and it moves.
It would have to be very long.
Yes, and so, yeah,
But
yeah.
now-
Anyway, that's probably not
Of course, that's
feasible.
how they would have to- When they were painting this, they painted, like, when they did it before, they did it off scaffolding.
Right.
When Lewis Brothers did it, they did it off elastic.
Mm.
And I was real happy when I saw them get the window.
Right, right. So they did that for you, yes.
Yeah.
While they're up there.
But we do have
So
some-
they'd have to have scaffolding. That's really the only way to do it.
Or extremely long.
Extreme, yeah,
But
extension
we,
matters.
but we had pigeons. So.
Light and
Oh, so how
Enterprise
long do
has,
they stay clean, right?
Light and Enterprise has those extended handles for their window cleaning equipment, but, and they can reach the one in the stairwell. And they've got a pumper truck that will do these windows, but I think it's just too far across the river and up, and there's no way they could get that truck close enough.
Mm,
Have to block the bridge.
mm-hmm.
So,
Do you want those windows or do you want windows somewhere?
Yeah,
else?
would it be a possibility to get the windows?
If you don't wanna clean them, or maybe put some elsewhere.
Well, I mean, these are the upstairs units, so
Right.
you have to have some light.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta have
We've
some.
got very limited space.
Yeah.
Because we've got that wall mostly is bookshelves and we've got window here
Okay.
and window here.
maybe we just
Mhm.
need to get the building painted more often.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
But I would not feel
They did.
safe with those windows up, like the downstairs windows, you could roll them out.
Mm-hmm. But,
But I would not want that upstairs, because
Yeah.
it's children's section.
right, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions?
A lot.
Let's see, yeah.
Okay, so the staff raises, the equation that I came up with, and I worked on it for mostly, I asked a lot of questions. I kept asking them, does this seem fair to you?
LCLD stands for library.
Letcher County Library District.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was certification or something. but
Sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
So full-time base pay for full-time employees is $13. And then these things below that are ways that we can, they can raise their salary.
So it's $13 an hour for 40 hours a week?
Yes.
Okay.
And some of these are requirements, like
Mhm.
if you are a full-time library employee, other than a janitor, you have to have a certification in the state of Kentucky.
How is the base pay? I started it.
Mm,
Yes, base pay is 13. It's this one.
but you started at 15.
This
Okay.
is just the equation to figure out where people need to be at as far as salary.
What, did you have the same job for $15 an hour? Ian?
Yeah, I was making $15.
Okay, did you start at $15 an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
that, is everybody's 15?
Yes, all the full-time, all the full-time base pay is $13 an hour.
But he got 15.
Right, as
Because,
the head librarian.
okay, so you're saying adding
these
these
things
things. Okay,
Go along with making what his salary is. So, with an MLS, which is a master's in library science, it adds $1 for $13.
okay, so that makes it 14.
A bachelor's degree, which you
Gotcha.
have to have in order to get a master's in library science,
Right.
is
So that's why
dollar.
yours was 15.
No,
No, it isn't? Okay.
paid for them, their certification classes themselves adds $1. Is certified in the state of Kentucky adds $1. Has been with the library 10 or more years adds 50 cents. Has been with the library 5 or more years adds 50 cents. So if we take Ian, for instance, who is full-time librarian, he starts at 13. He's a few months away from having been with the library for 5 years, so that one he doesn't get yet. He is certified, so that adds $1, puts him at $14, and he did pay for his certification classes himself, which puts him at $15 an hour.
Okay. Does
Um,
that make sense to you?
No, because that wasn't in play.
this is not
Oh,
figuring, like, even if the equation had figured you at less, you would have stayed at $15 an hour because it doesn't lower.
Why did I get dropped?
You didn't. You stayed at 15.
So we got 15.
this is a retroactive breakdown of
Yes.
how
It
people were
is,
compensated. So does it make sense that someone who's been with you 10 years doesn't get more of a bonus than someone?
it's an additional,
Right, an additional, because you already got 50 cents after 5 years, then you get an
Yeah.
additional 50 cents. Gotcha. Okay, you're right.
So-
You can't have 10 years without having had 5 years. Don't, okay.
so if we took me, for instance,
Mhm.
and I check all of the boxes except the 10 years, I would
Mhm.
start at $13. I would have the 50 cents from 5 years. I would have $1 from certified. I would have paid for the classes myself. I would have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. So 13, 14, 15,
450. You'd have 450.
so 1750.
Mhm.
Which is, I don't know exactly what I make per hour. So,
because you have a salary.
right.
So, right, yeah.
But if the person that I was looking at actually made more than what the equation gave me, they would be grandfathered into their salary.
Just keeping what they have.
Yeah.
But
You
this is,
have to, at some
Yeah.
point, that's gonna happen.
yeah.
Yes,
But
and
this, you're saying going forward, this would be the formula.
yes,
Okay. So when would this go into effect?
When we approve it.
Okay. Okay.
and actually I put it in place when I gave Cindy the retroactive to July amounts, which did not make, I mean, it made big changes for a couple of people, but most of us were pretty close to where we needed to be.
I could never, then what you came in there, then did the raise come on top of that?
Oh,
The
that's a good
12%,
question.
yes.
I could never figure out how mine came out that way. I know, I mean, I thought it was probably, it's like.
Grace, you were grandfathered in.
So you make
So you
more
have-
than what? This doesn't apply to you.
You made more than what the equation would give you.
See, doesn't that completely defeat the purpose of what the thing was to reward people for being here longer and that kind of thing?
I mean, I figured that I was getting more than what I should. With, when you dropped to 13, because, you know.
But you're grandfathered
No,
in. is
you're
what means
grandfathered
that
in.
Basically, nobody, I think in answer to your question, Ian, if I'm right, this cannot hurt anybody.
Yeah.
It can only raise someone's. So if you're making more than this formula would
They
say,
just didn't get the raise.
no, you get the raise, don't you?
Yeah, you got
You
the
still get the
12%.
raise. But you don't, your salary or your pay is not adjusted because you're making more than what this formula says. But if anyone wasn't making this,
Then
if it raised their wage, then it got implemented. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I tried to figure like what I had been making an hour.
And then 12%?
and then 12%, and it did not still come.
I can show you after the meeting.
No, it was
I'll show you after the meeting.
cause I wasn't, so do you stop at 10 years? Is that it?
That's just the last one that.
Is there
um,
anyone that
That's
has more
how
than 10
teachers.
years?
Oh,
do. I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Grace and
This is
Peggy
not-
both have.
More than 10 years.
More than.
Yeah, right.
Well, Peggy, what year did you start? 1964?
1984.
1984.
Okay, so-
I thought you started in the 60s. And you
When
started
did you
in the,
start?
I started in
yeah.
Okay, 88 and
I thought it
84,
was
so
83, but I think. it
40
was
years,
actually-
so, yeah,
My-
almost.
I think at this point it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but, yeah, closer to 40 than
39 years.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
You know, it might help if you took this and you put it, I mean, you know, at some point in time, and you put it like, you know, in a,
an Excel spreadsheet
like a
thing
spreadsheet.
to
And
show
that
the
would
current,
help everyone see where they're at, where they can
Oh,
go.
with them next to it,
yeah,
I'm
like
not
what
saying with.
boxes
I'm not saying
checked.
with individuals, I'm
Oh,
just saying,
As a whole.
you know, it would be an example of
The
what would
job
happen.
description would tell.
yeah, the job yeah. Well, if you're saying that the job description doesn't matter, that's not something figured into this, is it?
well, the only ones that
Would be the folks with the
MLIS.
MLIS, that
Yeah.
would, but this doesn't have any connection, relationship to their job description as it is. Is that right?
Right. There's
Okay.
only one full-time person that is required by the state of Kentucky to have a master's in library and information science.
And that's you, right, exactly.
Um,
What about the janitors?
Right.
They
Does
are all
this-
part-time and they.
So this doesn't apply to part-time. This is just full-time.
Just full-time. And it
They-
also,
They probably need the money more than.
yeah,
Anyway,
well, they got the 12% raises.
oh, they
Um,
did,
But
okay.
They're still not
Yeah,
near 13 now.
yeah,
Yeah.
if somebody's been here for 25 years, you know, part-time.
Yeah, I could see that would need, it might need some consideration.
Yeah, there might be some additional things that, I mean, at some point,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
Well, teachers get
Well,
1%
With this,
each year.
we were,
well, it's in that.
For cost of living,
I mean,
right?
there were some years that people did not get raises here. other
Right.
years.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
this was to address pay inequities for the full-time staff.
Roy, you were the one that brought it up. Do you feel as though this fixed what you thought was broken?
Well, for the most part, it helped basic, you know.
Yeah.
Grace, do you feel we're underpaying?
No, I just felt like, I mean, like,
Figure it out.
no, I hadn't figured about what you could have possibly given me the extra for. And I'm thinking maybe some of the things you.
I didn't give you any extra.
Well, she was looking at the $13 an
There
hour,
was the
right?
back pay between the difference of what
Oh,
you
so you
were
don't take
paid.
everybody back.
No, I didn't take
No,
anybody back.
no one went down. The only way this could affect you is if it went up. Right.
No, it's
Oh.
13 plus
So
what
what's
you
the
got.
Judy and
So-
where are you at with
So me,
this?
for example, I got 12%. Like I just got.
On
12
top
I-
of the-
I just got the 12%.
No
Okay.
adjustment other than,
No, no
right,
adjustment other than 12%.
right.
Okay,
And
but
that's
what
probably
would
the case for everyone except for maybe Roy.
Not quite.
No,
No, but that's what I mean, just the 12, or did your base pay go up? Oh, it did. Okay,
Ian's and Roy's. And well, Ian didn't. go.
not your base pay,
No, the
your 12%.
No.
equation part.
their stuff was calculated from $13 up to what they're at now, instead of from where they started.
Right.
That's what it was.
Oh,
I
So,
actually have.
so like, for example, she was making what, 16,
I was making 15.
15,
38 or something.
yeah. So,
Okay,
so
and-
instead of calculating with that, she was calculating from $13.
I see what you're.
oh, well, that's not right. Is that what you intended to do, Ally?
Yes, because,
Oh,
But would
well,
that
that's
be?
not a
that would be
12%
12%,
raise. then.
Yeah.
no, I did the equation. And then after that, after I figured where they should be based on these steps,
Okay,
Then they got the 12% after I figured where they should have been.
But I don't think that's what we approved.
That's,
I think we approved a 12% raise on their current across the board.
yeah,
Yes, and they all got a 12% raise.
no,
But
but that's
based,
not what we said.
they didn't get a 12% raise based on what they were earning. They got a 12% raise based on this formula, which is different from what they were earning.
Well, either went up or
Stay.
I took,
stayed the same. None of them, nobody went down.
Well, I know, but we
I took
said,
the equation
Mhm.
and what I figured people would be at to Cindy. And
Cindy is
She-
the person from the American Library.
no,
Who's
at
Cindy?
the bookkeeper's office.
Oh, okay, she's,
And she's the one that does the payroll for us.
okay, okay.
And it, she called Libby and asked, and Libby basically said, just go ahead and do it instead of,
Waiting.
yes.
Well, I don't think Libby
Without
can make that decision. Yeah.
No, but if
She
you
doesn't
guys
have
want to talk about it,
Yeah. I mean, because my understanding when we voted for that,
12%.
we hadn't approved a formula yet, for one thing. But then the other thing is that we just assumed that
What they were.
what they were currently making, that they would get 12% over that. You've got to go. Okay, bye-bye. And so I think that's what
Okay.
what I moved that we do.
Yeah, that was what the approved.
Yeah, that it shouldn't go back.
Go
I
into
mean-
executive session. to do
Oh,
that.
to do this, do you think to talk about? Yeah,
okay.
because, right, you
Um,
weren't here when we voted that, so
No.
you have some
Questions.
comments about that. Okay.
Okay.
No, I think everybody, like Peggy's having to leave and maybe some of the others.
I was rich.
Huh.
Mhm.
What?
Things that were added. Did that add on to what I was currently making, or did it?
Yeah.
I don't understand, I just, not a man.
Right.
I only took that.
Well, I think if I
I just didn't
understand
understand.
correctly,
Didn't know that.
the
Thought we'd always
formula
agreed
did
to
not
discuss
apply
it.
to your current
No, it's actually in
salary,
the
except
board
that
manual.
your raise was
Sorry.
figured from that formula. So you didn't get a 12% raise on what you were making. You got a 12% raise on what you would make according to this formula.
Which we hadn't approved.
And wasn't what our intention was, I don't
Okay,
think.
Let's
So,
put that on the next agenda. And
well, okay, are we gonna wait on that or what? Jeanette,
think
you were
we-
asking about executive session, so.
Sam interrupted me to tell me that we're not supposed to have executive session. And it's the first time I've ever been in a meeting that
Not for like,
Not for
unless it's
personnel
about a specific person,
Oh, okay.
and not for financial matters.
And not for financial matters, okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just thought they might want to go back to their jobs.
Yeah, if you guys need to get back to work. Feel
You know,
free.
I just, you know, I can't be fired for not being a mathematician.
No one's gonna fire you.
I just
We're
looked
trying to make
at
it right.
what I was
Right,
making.
right.
I was making, I think it was 7 hour hair, I think I had it with me, but I let you my phone. 1748
Mhm,
after 37 years,
right.
and.
well, it should have been put on that.
12% on that. That's what we
Nothing
meant.
else would be figured in, right?
Right,
That's what,
nothing else was.
that was our
That would be
intention.
I need to-
1957.
So that's what I should be making.
That would be 1957.
Right, 12% on that hourly rate, wage.
Yeah.
And you're saying the same thing, Legina, that you didn't get a 12% raise on what you were making
No.
at the time. Okay.
I don't.
$15 an hour, but you know it wasn't 12%
No,
on that.
I was thinking, well, somebody's a mathematician pick up, because I was thinking that would bring me up $20.
And that's what Ian said. He figured that. Yeah,
1957.
yeah. That's a good year, 1957. Anyway. Six,
Yeah,
actually.
it's not-
Anyways.
But now I'm thinking it's like on my paper, it's like Facebook, it was like. He didn't figure out that, he figured out, then that way I was paid too much.
Oh,
No, they figured you at $20.13 an hour. I didn't do anything to yours. I just told
So
them,
I just got the 12%, that's it.
yeah.
Okay.
okay.
I
Well, then,
can look and see what you
where
were.
did anything come for all those years? I just don't be.
Well,
I thought-
after 10 years, you don't get any additional pay.
Well,
But I
that's
never
what she
had
said. She didn't get any
anything
additional
for the
pay.
people.
because-
Oh, for her years,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
She's never been rewarded for her additional pay, yeah.
Well, let's
I
bring.
mean-
Okay, should we
I mean, so
table
then-
this for now and
Let's table this, and we'll do the first thing.
at our next meeting, we'll do that? Okay,
Okay.
and in the meantime, things will stay as they are. Um,
Can I just say one of, and I don't know, I'm just saying this because I do not understand. So people who started after me, that started at much higher rate than mine, I started, and I worked those years at minimum wage,
mhm.
they were rewarded. But I worked 34 years. And
And you
there
didn't
was
get,
no extra added into.
They were starting higher than you was.
We probably need to look at that.
yeah, we need to
formula.
look at the formula, yeah.
I mean, it benefits the hires that have been hired way since me.
But it
did not
didn't
give me
benefit you, right?
If
If you
I-
didn't get any
if I didn't-
additional added to your hourly wage.
Cause see,
Yeah.
we never got a bonus or added amount for a
Mhm.
certain number. Any raise, or anything I ever got, was just straight across the board, everything got the same I did.
Mhm.
There were years people got raises that I didn't get raises because specific people would say they need to get a raise and get them.
But it was done a different way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Through the years that you have worked.
Well,
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah.
But
Through
never
years, the
said I
only
didn't
raises
get-
that have been given is the cost of living raise, essentially.
mhm.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just, the people who had been here longer had had more of those cost of living raises. But then the people who came in started at a higher rate.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I feel red.
Well,
Okay.
how many years did you work?
I've worked 18 years.
18, and I worked 30 some, and I was only making about $2.
Right,
So I had never been given.
right. So that needs to be looked
Yeah.
at. I think we need to look at,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
We
why I
need to
was.
study
I need a
that.
Yeah,
motion-
I understand
need a
what you're
motion
saying.
to Table the salary increase till the next meeting.
yes, I move.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Now I make the motion. So, second it.
Yeah.
Any, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Mhm.
Motion carries. Okay. Now, we're getting on to
The fire system for Blackie.
But didn't we already talk about that? Or is that?
No,
Oh, okay.
this is, I was asked to have, fire system estimates for Blackie.
Oh, yeah.
And
what is what is the alarm monitoring service?
they have they have alarms on the doors, right, Grace? Motion sensors.
They go too far.
They go into a call center and open his state policemen. And
Okay.
I have and they'll call a number, and if I come at the library, the alarm goes off. I've got a code that I give them, everything.
Okay. And $450 seems like a lot of travel time. For mileage.
What are you looking at right now?
That's down here, this last page is on the.
The,
I've got all my pages up.
it's this one.
This is 300, right? Time and problem. 150 an hour and then times 2, but still.
No, I see 500 for the alarm, and then.
That's a year of monitoring.
Mhm.
Rest of all the that. 440 and then $450 time and travel.
Oh,
I mean, at 50 cents a mile. That's a lot.
What was The traveling, does anyone
From
remember
Hazard?
what,
The bottom one?
or was that for the
Time and
library?
travel is 300 for the whole
Well, on
project.
the other, the page before, it's,
Oh,
150.
yeah, that one takes more days to put in. Cause
Oh,
it's
they
a more,
must have gone back and forth.
it's two different,
At least once it was said they had to pick stuff up.
yeah, it's two different estimates, one for a more extensive system that has suppression, and the other one is just monitoring. Smoke detector.
So they came two different times to
No,
do that.
they came once to do estimates and they looked around. It's two different estimates. The first one, which is more, has a suppression system. The second one is just the smoke detectors and monitoring.
Oh.
Um,
mhm.
The time and travel on there listed is how many days they expect it would take to put
Oh,
it in.
this is just an estimate.
Yes,
Okay, so that's not actually, so this is an estimate here, this 4422, it may not be that much, okay.
Oh, okay.
So percent unfilled is 100. So
Yes.
none of that has actually been,
That's all
okay,
Well, they look like great systems.
yeah. I was impressed with those folks when I went to.
right. That's on 15.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
way
it
out.
is, yeah, that's where I took my, I had a-
Next to Hobby Shop.
I had a 10-pound, a 5-pound, and a 2.5-pound fire extinguisher that I have had in my basement, and one of them, the 2.5-pound, was rusted out, but the other one they're gonna refill, and then, I just
Nice.
thought I finally had to get around to doing that, so.
That lower insurance.
Oh, having an extinguisher? Okay, all right, I'll have to I'll let John know. So, something when we were talking about the different libraries, something that I wanted to raise as a possibility and see how people feel about it is having our meetings at the different library locations.
We will. We
Okay,
usually do.
okay.
We're just,
So rotating, but you just feel like that'd be too much to do.
well, we can't have them in closed buildings, and we did have one in Jenkins.
Oh, so
months back.
Jenkins and Blackie, isn't Blackie an open building or not
No.
technically? Okay, so Jenkins would be the only one that we could meet at right now.
Yes.
Okay, I was just thinking getting to, it's been forever since I've been to Blackie. I need to go check it out. I know I'm gonna have to come
And they'll let you in. It's just they don't have a
They have to
working
go around the
bathroom, so we can't
Right,
have.
oh, I
meetings
see,
there.
right. Something, and I don't know, I wanted to compliment you all on that calendar. I see you have yours, but Cheryl, I don't know what I did with mine. But that monthly calendar, Tessa did that. Well, if I could make a suggestion, can I have yours for just a second here, Cheryl? One thing, my neighbor, I had just gotten this and got it out, and my neighbor had brought her little boy or little girl rather to the story hours, and she got so excited. She said, "Oh, there's a book club!" And now that I know it's on Zoom, I can share that with her. But notice, I just wish that it was clearer if you could pass this on to Tessa, because she didn't see.
Yeah.
You can't tell. I think there ought to be something across Blackie Library, Jenkins, instead of just having a little box.
Which library it is.
Yeah, which library it is, right.
Something else too.
Yeah.
She sent the list of dates and stuff for Mount Eagle, and when it got sent, it was too low of resolution and wouldn't work.
Oh,
So
okay,
that's why it's-
okay, but I think
bet
that,
she can't do it where it's color too.
Yeah, some of the colors were not.
Didn't help.
Right.
You couldn't read the tap because, it's
Of
black
all
and
the-
white and you got all the.
right, all that
How
other
does it
stuff
look
on,
on the calendar, like on that turnover?
right here.
Yeah.
It would be great, and I was sorry that by the time I got it, it was almost the end of the month. But is this something that we could try and get in the Eagle, say, for October? I don't know if you all have your calendars made that far in advance, But I think that would be a good goal to have
Well,
it
we
the
passed-
first
we passed that.
Wednesday
Yeah.
to publish those in the
It's-
newspaper and have them on the radio, maybe even.
They're finished by the first.
Well, they are
usually,
finished by the first, okay.
And then she's supposed to send something to the Mountain Eagle right away.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think that people need to know what's
Yeah.
going on so they can
Yeah.
participate.
Yeah, she tried to send the calendar and it just didn't turn.
Right, okay.
So we'll.
I think the calendar on the back was also a problem because of the colors.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you may, Ian, have some connection with someone at the Mountain Eagle that could help with that to make sure that it's
It needs to be just a white background.
white PDF or
Yeah.
something, or,
Black-
yeah,
Or
black
they could
lettering.
even send us
Word.
just send us an old text file. We could-
Okay.
it's just-
as long as the color is not there, it
The
needs
way
to
it
be,
was,
yeah.
it had a Field of fall leaves behind the tap.
Oh,
by the time
and-
you do that, and it was 72 DPI.
Yeah, no, you need something bigger than that, I know that,
I'll
yeah.
just tell her to send you a list
It would be about that big.
or send
Oh,
Pam
yeah,
list.
oh gosh, yeah,
About postage stamps.
So this
Right.
one, should we have it?
Are we gonna make a decision about fire systems for Blackie?
oh, we need to approve that, okay.
If you wanted one of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah, I move that we approve the bid
Okay. then
for the Blackie Library Fire System.
which
Other-
which one? Do you want
Can
the
we
one
say-
that has the suppression or the one that is just
Oh,
the
we have to
smoke
pick from
detector?
those, I was missing that.
Yeah, one is $9,000, $9,074.80, and the other one is
Wow, so
$4,422.91.
double the price.
There are some differences between them, but the biggest difference is suppression versus no suppression.
Surge suppression panel, so what exactly does that mean? That when it gets hot, it shuts what does that mean? I'm assuming that's when electrical panel is what they're talking about,
Yeah, they'll put it's the
so that you can't have an
panel.
electrical fire. Right? Or if the electrical panel gets too hot, it shuts everything off, I don't know.
I'll take it off my recorder hat.
Yes, take off your
Yeah.
recorder
Yes,
hat and tell
please.
us what you know.
Yes, please.
What do you know?
Suppression, firefighters.
Oh, okay.
Suppression usually. System.
Oh,
Or a
a
comm system.
CO2 system, or a K system, which the
Okay.
K system is potassium, you use it in kitchens.
they talked
So
to me
if
about that,
kitchen fire,
hazard fire, and yeah,
That's the
they told me
one.
about
The
that.
K system's non-toxic, so and it's, there's not a cleanup involved in it, you don't get kitchen, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay,
Food. The CO2 system is for electrical fires, and that kind of, it can be used for a lot of things. but
so
the
can you
problem
tell
with it
from,
is it sucked all the oxygen out of the room, basically. Or
oh,
it replaces the oxygen with CO2.
so can you tell from this which system they're talking about? Do
Does
we
it
don't,
just say suppression?
it says Ditech Surge Suppression Panel.
Panel. I do not know.
That's
Unless
probably.
it is
You think it's
probably-
K?
the Alarm system and
Yeah,
stuff like that,
control.
that has the controls so that that you can.
That tells the system when to release the
Yeah.
suppressant.
Yeah. it's
Okay, but
probably-
this isn't, it's not clear from this what kind of suppressant we're talking about.
I would ask them and see. if-
Yeah, I would ask too.
Okay,
Can
so
we
can table this?
table this and
Okay.
find out what kind of suppressant? Because I remember they told me about that those fire extinguishers, I took them were everything up to K.
Right.
They said that kitchens have to have K
Which is.
because, and it's usually, he said it's a foam that's usually encased in their hood, their exhaust hood, so that if something happens, it dumps the foam and puts out the fire in the kitchen.
What would be used in simple for everything that's basic?
Yeah, I mean, would we need it?
Sister comes on.
Right, yeah, so that's why we need to know.
Well, CO2 would work for that, but CO2 too is dangerous to people if you get it.
think K would probably work better.
Yeah. Yeah, K is probably is the most expensive, I bet, but that sounds like, wouldn't you think K would be what they'd need there?
In the kitchen.
Well, in a kitchen, but what about in the library? Not water.
It's just not hot.
Yeah, dry.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You don't want CO2 because that would be toxic and you don't want water. So the only other alternative is K, right?
Or dry can. Like we've got the sprinkler system here, but.
Right, I know. So are you all gonna look at a different system for here at some point, or that's not in the works right now?
Not right now.
Okay, yeah.
Probably when we get around to remodeling this. building,
Okay, right,
Which is gonna be a little bit
yeah. Got enough to handle right now.
So,
tabled, and I will ask them about what kind of suppression.
exploration of the.
Of the suppressant system, what kind of, yeah.
Okay. And I will call Barrett and find out about what kind of suppression. The 21-22 audit you have, the 22-23 annual report you have.
Mm-hmm.
The only announcement I have is that yesterday was the last Sunday that we were open as part of the extended flood hours. The grant for yoga, that was Kara Love project that paid for the Sunday yoga classes is up. So
So no more rest and relaxation, restorative yoga. That's what I really.
Kelly's looking for another venue.
Okay.
We just didn't have enough people coming in on
Sure.
Sundays.
Right. But you still have extended hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
Tuesdays we're open until 7 usually, and Ian hasn't complained about staying open until 7 on Thursdays, so I think I'm just gonna leave it.
So
If that's okay with you, Ian.
It'd be a lot better when we get another person.
Right, so it's not just you.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, if I have to take off a Tuesday or Thursday right now, it's
Mhm.
Because I stay.
yeah, because somebody has to stay there for 2 hours.
So what are the hours, Ally, for this facility?
Monday through Sunday. I'm sorry, Monday
That
through
makes sense.
Saturday,
Right.
9 to 5, except for Tuesdays and Thursdays when we're open until 7.
So Saturdays, it's 9 to 5. Yeah. All right.
That's all I have.
I've been reading over our policy and I don't even know when the last time it was updated. I'd like to have, and I don't know really how to do this, I guess it's to update our policy, but I'd like to have members. We can't have a board meeting and policy. We have a special meeting to update the policies.
Could we?
I can bring at least one policy on the agenda every month.
Well, I think that would take us a long time to
Yeah.
get through it,
It
wouldn't
will.
it? Yeah.
So,
Well, if everyone has a copy of do you all have a copier that will do
Front and back?
front and back and?
Yes.
Okay, well, do you have a copy of the policy manual?
Probably somewhere.
Maybe somewhere, because then maybe if we all had a copy of it, well, here's my thing, I was looking for. Then we could look at it between times and know what we have questions about so that, but I think we all have to have it to refer to. Do you have a copy right there? Good, okay, because I was gonna.
I didn't give
get
you a
mine.
copy of this?
No.
I have looked all over
Okay,
and I do not.
I will,
And do you want her to give you one of
I will,
as well?
It's been 30 years since I first, I don't know where the policy is. I've moved since
okay,
then.
I can make a copy. This is mostly front only.
You can.
I can change that on our copier.
Yeah,
That is
mine I
fine.
did front and back. But maybe there weren't, gee, I made a mess here now.
What I was thinking, could we meet, it's like,
I got this, the state one.
The trustee manual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
got that, but not this
But
one.
not
me
Yeah,
this.
yeah, what were you gonna say? Could we meet?
like on Wednesday, but we, let's say sure, pick up your place on Wednesday.
Yeah,
And
if
then,
it's the daytime, Thursdays are usually full.
well, let's say Wednesday at noon or something. Could you meet today,
What, Wednesday,
Wednesday day?
this Wednesday,
Yeah,
what's the date?
I mean, it might be,
27.
make more sense, Ally, for us to look over it and bring our questions to the next board meeting, but I mean, you'd certainly be welcome too, but that way, because I don't see us getting through that manual during a board meeting. You know, I mean, it would take us if we did one policy at a time, but
We could have just a
And-
discussion meeting and say, do you think this needs to be stay as is or needs to be?
and then bring those forward. But one thing that would be helpful is if you
If-
could send us a job description for,
If you guys, like, a quorum meets outside of the library board meeting, it is considered a meeting.
right, and so we have to announce it, make it public,
Yes.
right, yeah.
More than 24 hours in advance, in us. In very public places, like on our doors,
Right.
on the door of where the meeting is going to be held.
Mhm.
On our
Put it on
Facebooks.
Facebook. Actually, print the paper.
Hmm.
I think he's got that covered.
Yeah,
You just have to, you have to have an agenda saying what to do. And then
Well, do
you
you-
can't
Just-
vote on anything other than
Okay.
what you got on.
We'll
just
meet and
review the
discuss
policies and procedures.
Yeah,
So if
People
we
have
did,
work sessions all-
Right.
Yeah.
okay, right. So so do we want, let me look at my calendar
yeah.
before.
You all tell me when.
You said you could do it this Wednesday? And did you say that it would be available, that your place would be available?
Are you saying the 27th?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the day after tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. And we just start at the beginning and like meet every Wednesday and then,
Now I do have things on Wednesdays that, well, just let me know what time and I
okay,
can let
what's
you
the
know.
best time?
Well, you just never know with they have all their FEMA the city has all their FEMA meetings.
So you
during
don't
the
know what day that,
It's not a consistent day.
not a consistent day.
Yeah.
Well, is there, well, I can't do it until noon on Wednesday, just to let you know. But I could be back by noon. I have to go to Wise that morning, but do we want to, are you saying that an evening would be better? Is that what?
No, this Wednesday
Evenings
is
are hard
fine
for you,
on the
right?
27th.
Yeah,
At any
yeah,
time.
because, okay,
I'm not
so
too far
could
from
we do it at noon?
Saturday?
Would that work?
Okay.
Noon on the 27th? That work for you?
just remembered I have a Methodist women meeting
At what time is
at
it?
2:00.
At 2:00. Well, do you think we'd need to meet more than an hour? What do you think? I don't
The
know.
first
Well, we
one.
could limit it to an hour and that way
Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
we don't. you know.
Yeah, thanks.
Not
Sam.
leaving, not leaving.
Yeah, would that work for
Yeah,
you?
cause
Probably. Normally it wouldn't matter, but our women are planning a Polish sausage meal to try to buy pickups.
Oh, so
goodness.
you
There.
think I mean, would that give you enough time if you,
I just
from
have to get
noon to 1?
I just have to get the menu and stuff like that done. It shouldn't take more than an hour.
Okay.
Okay, but if we meet at noon and your meeting's at 2,
Yeah, that'll give me time.
yeah, that'll give you
Okay.
time. So,
Well,
yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I can make binders with copies of this, so we can just flip through the binder and make
Yeah.
notes on what we need to change.
Mhm.
what we do is go through and highlight things that we think need to be changed and
We could-
pencil in what we would like the
Mhm.
changes to be. That way we can take that binder, and that would be the draft that we would present to the board
And-
as a whole.
Kentucky Department for Libraries and Archives has sample policies. So any of the ones that I've brought forward, if it's been one that's available, I take it from them. And if it's not, I find a policy someplace else and adjust it as needed.
Okay,
All
all right.
Yeah.
And that's probably what you can do for
for
the
most
job
of-
description too, right? Well, I mean, I know you'll have to tweak it. You'll have to,
Yeah,
okay,
actually, I know we've got a job description somewhere, so I just need to
okay. And you can
find the
get that.
flash drive it's on.
That makes me think of something else. It would be helpful to me. I know some people don't like electronic communication, but I would prefer to get
The packet.
the packet
Through
electronically
email?
by email.
Can do that.
I,
Is that
I
okay?
would like that too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, because I've
Saves
got,
us money.
well, I tell you, I am,
And
I'm going
energy
to-
copying.
right,
Oh, we've got an automatic feeder. I just put the thing in there. and it
yeah, but
goes.
that's good, yeah. But
Okay.
I'm cleaning out file cabinets now and I have got so much paper and so many files and I just feel like they're gonna find me buried under them someday. But, so yeah, electronically would be great.
Okay, so email
Okay.
packets to Alan and Cheryl.
You want them hard copy, you'd rather get it. Oh, but you were saying, did you tell me about when I asked you if you've gotten your packet that you get it late
Monday.
on the same?
Sometimes on Monday because our post office is only open till 12.
So you're saying, could it be mailed out earlier? That's what you're
Yeah,
saying?
Sometimes I get it on
State
Monday.
3 to 4 days.
Yeah, but
And I
it,
don't know
yeah.
if that means working days or.
well, I don't know, and our mail system is so crazy, everything goes to Knoxville before
Yeah.
it comes
Well,
back
I
here,
send
so.
something- If I send something to Whitesburg, it goes to Knoxville. and-
I know, it's crazy.
But
It's
my
really
sister,
something.
she doesn't Knoxville.
Monday, if I had
Well,
time, then
they
I'd
should
stop
get-
on here. get it
Right,
because
yeah.
I've got box. So that's all. No problem.
Yeah, yeah, I know, it's
Well,
crazy.
I've always got copies
But
if
I,
needed.
if I mess something
But
to you,
it does
6 4 days.
because.
Right,
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't used
I
to
know
be
the
like
one
that,
time
but they
I
cut
sent
back
it and it came
on the
out
postage
label.
system, so.
And didn't you say one time it came open?
What happened, your mail?
Our mail is just part-time.
Oh,
Well,
right.
it's-
And they're changing every.
It doesn't open until 12. It closes at 3:40.
So you've got a very short, small window to get in there.
But like when it comes on Monday,
Her-
if
now
I
hers
haven't
has-
gotten it, I
hers
just
has-
stop on the
actually,
way in here.
Right, right, sure, yeah,
Yeah, her mail goes to Knoxville to Ashland, back to Virginia.
yeah. Oh, it's so crazy. Yeah.
It's as bad as FedEx and UPS
UPS,
sometimes.
yeah. Oh, I know.
Any other, so it's Wednesday,
I-
12.
Wednesday at 12, it's neon lights.
And I'll bring, do you each want a binder with, so we can like, or do you?
Well,
want
I've
to
already
do
got
one?
my copy, so I'll just bring that.
Just
And
need
that'd
one
be fine.
binder, that way.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can put it in a binder, but I mean, I don't need another copy.
I'll make a copy that we can write on and put in the binder, bring that. Wednesday, noon, neon lights.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know about those donuts you brought. H, I've been looking around.
They're in the bags over there. There's also pizza.
But I
and
want
yourself.
pizza too. Last time, do we need to adjourn the meeting?
The next meeting is, well, other
October?
than the special one scheduled for
Yeah.
Wednesday, I'm gonna make signs for it.
Great.
The next regular scheduled board meeting is October
Don't tell me
16th,
when to have her.
and it is here.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. But
Um,
then we could maybe go to Jenkins the next time.
Yes,
yeah.
I can
Yeah, I mean, it's not,
schedule November for Jenkins.
I know. Well, I know I shouldn't, I probably ought to eat, if I'm gonna eat anything, pizza instead of, but I love these. Are these crispy? This
They are
pantry
pantry
shelf,
shelf.
oh my gosh. Did you get them?
I did not, H brought
H,
them.
you went to pantry shelf? I'm impressed. Does anyone remember on the in Virginia on the old road to, from Norton to Appalachia, there used to be a donut place. Oh, I was commuting there to Clinch Valley, and you'd come over that and you'd smell those donuts. Just, thank you, Agent.
Bring it to you last.
I got you. Thank you.
There's nothing like smelling them on the grill.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna ask.
Mhm.
Something in there.
Yeah.
You did say there was depression with this.
So Cheryl, we talked about evening, we're trying to get together with my cousin Charlotte Mullins, you know Charlotte?
It's.
Yeah, from East Jenkins. Yeah. Yeah, she's my first cousin. She's my only first cousin, yeah, because Larry Earl and Roger Vanover was my, you know, Chuck Hall. Yes, yes, Courtney. Let's see, her daughter was Michelle, is Michelle, and then Michelle's daughter's Courtney. They both work at ARH. But anyway, Liberty and Louisville want to get together with Charlotte. And when I told Evadine about your place, she said we should meet there. But
Could we
have to have
adjourn?
food. Right?
I don't,
How does that work? Yeah, I didn't think.
H, adjourn the meeting, please.
I'm sorry, okay.
Your motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I move that we adjourn. And
Cheryl, second.
got that?
All in favor,
Meeting is-
signify by saying aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay.
Meeting is